Hello everyone, this is Anomaly from the $5 Journey. Thank you for tuning in to another video. Um, I wanted to talk today about a side hustle, okay? Having another means of cash flow, all right? Now, a side hustle is different from having just your regular 9 to 5, right? Or if you own a business, yeah, you can have a side hustle also. All right. Now, how does a side hustle fit into the bigger picture? Side hustle fits in because it's another way of generating additional funds, additional money to to invest in mutual funds, real estate, maybe a business, maybe a percentage of a business, not even necessarily that you're running a business, but maybe a percentage of the business, a REIT, a real estate investment trust, stock, those kinds of things, even annuities, those kinds of financial vehicles that will take the money that you have produced from that side hustle and it will expand upon it. It'll grow it. It'll without you having to do any additional work. Okay, so that's where we want to get you to. Now, the book, The $5 Journey, it is mainly targeted towards middle income, working class individuals, the working poor, the working homeless. If you are not working because you're having issues with, I don't know, just unemployment, just finding a job, right? You're looking, but there's really nothing out there, or you're kind of hitting a dry spot, that's something a little bit different that that we can actually deal with. But there are a few different ways to approach that kind of situation. But for today, I want to talk to those that have some form of money coming in. It could even be maybe you're on disability, maybe you are, maybe you're on Social Security. I'm not sure. Whatever your situation is, you have some kind of main form of cash flow coming in, some kind of main form of money coming in, and a side hustle. A side hustle is another stream of income coming in. Now, why is a side hustle important? I kind of explained a little bit at the beginning. Side hustle is important because it's another stream of income that's going to be used to invest, to put into a financial vehicle, right? And then it's able to grow on its own. Okay, because remember, in the $5 journey, we want to take you from investing $0 per day, per week, per whatever, to $500 per week. That's not the end, but that is a good start to get to, okay? That will at least start the process of being able to, have you think different about your finances, about your investing future, about financial progress. Okay, so I want to, so that's the introduction. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Now, a side hustle. I have a few ideas as far as side hustles. Of course, that's mentioned in the $5 Journey, the book. Pick up a copy if you can. It's available on Amazon, Kindle, that kind of thing. Pick up a copy or get the ebook. So there are side hustle ideas there. There are strategies in place in the book. And I just wanted to just kind of, just run down a list of a couple of different side hustles that you can use to take you from that $0 per week or per day kind of investor to the $500 per week investor, maybe even pass at $1,000 per week, $5,000 per week. Okay, this can happen with your side hustle. Okay, one side hustle that you can do is doing landscaping. All right, landscaping. Now, landscaping, maybe I shouldn't even say landscaping. I mean, landscaping definitely is a side hustle, but taking care of properties, okay, and whatever, whether that is, rubbish removal, is in the fall, if the area of the country that you live in does have a fall, summer, fall kind of thing. So cleaning up the leaves. I know in my yard, every week, I pretty much need someone to rake up the leaves and to bag them and, set them out for the garbage and things like that. I mean, because there's just a lot of leaves. I know I actually saw these they started out two young boys several years ago on my block, and they went up and down the block. They just asked, all they had was they just had a rake, two rakes, and they had a couple of those brown bags that at least out here, the municipal government wants you to put the leaves in the brown bag and set them out so that the garbage people could take them. So they had that, and they just knocked on doorbells, and they asked. I think they were like maybe 11 or 12 years old at the time. Now they're 16, 17 years old, and they're still doing the same thing. But they're making, I mean, they charge a reasonable price. They charge like about $30, $40, depending on, if the yard is a little bit bigger. They charge $30, $40, and for a good month and a half every single week, the neighbors are hiring them. And they do, maybe 8 or 9 houses on a weekend, and they're pocketing a few $100s on the weekend, every single week. And that's kind of their side hustle. Do they have a business name or an LLC or something like that? No. They started off with 2 rakes and a few bags, right? All of which probably cost maybe $40, for the rakes and then for the bags. And that was it. And off of it, they've been able to use those same exact rakes for the past 4 or 5 years, and they're making a lot of money off of it. Okay, so that's the side hustle. So there's the whole raking thing, cleaning up of the yard. There in the winter time, there is snow removal. I got my snow removal business started with a $10 shovel. I think it was about $10, and with a $5 bag of salt to put down. The kind of salt that I use was the kind that doesn't mess with the concrete or anything like that, or pets aren't going to eat it or anything like that. So I got that. So for let's say $10 for the shovel, $5 for the bag of salt, and I've made thousands of dollars every single season during the wintertime when it snows for the past several years. As a matter of fact, the business that I started during that time, it was actually in 2009, the business that I started, I have to turn down customers every year because people are calling me up. I don't even have to advertise anymore. People are calling me up. I have other people who, do the shoveling, do the removal, that kind of thing. I mean, I just, basically provide a very reliable and consistent service. I do, I make sure that everybody who works for me, works with a spirit of excellence. That's really important, is consistent about, how they do things. And I mean, I clear $1,000 net profit every single time that it snows out here. Could I make more? Absolutely, but it's a side hustle, and I'm a little limited because I have some other things that bring in additional money. And frankly, I just, at this point in time, I just don't want to put any additional energy into growing that particular business. I mean, it's really good. I'm able to help people out. I'm able to hire people, and I'm also able to use the proceeds from that to give back to other people who are a little bit less fortunate. And then a good portion of the proceeds I'm able to donate and then to invest. Okay, so that's another idea. What's another one? Another one is Airbnb. Okay, Airbnb, and I'm gonna make more of. I'm gonna make another video where I actually talk about Airbnb more because I have personal experience with that. I have an Airbnb business myself, and that is just oh my gosh, what a blessing. That's been a wonderful business. You know, the one Airbnb property that I actually have, you know, I clear almost $2,000 a month, and my work is minimal. It's very minimal. You know, again, I just make sure that you know the things that I do are consistent. That is done with excellence. So when the guests leave, I have a cleaner come in, and I pay the cleaner a fair wage, a livable wage. You know, not $8 an hour, $9 an hour, you know, that kind of thing. You know, I don't try to, you know, strong arm anybody. I pay them a very livable wage. As a matter of fact, you know, I'll be transparent. I pay them $20 an hour, okay, to clean, and I provide all the cleaning material and everything. They just got to do it, and that happens. So the Airbnb business, you know, after the expense of the cleaner and everything, I'm clearing close to $2,000 a month, you know, just off of that. So I can speak to that personally. I'll make another video about Airbnb. So that is another potential side hustle that you can do. Now, there's another one that I just recently learned about, probably maybe 2 months ago, maybe about 3 months ago, actually, I should say, about this time. Let's see, we're in December, so I learned about this actually in towards the end of August, so however many months that is. But that is Turo. I learned about Turo, and you could probably Google some stuff on it. You can YouTube it. Turo is a ride-sharing kind of company, and basically what it is, it's like the Airbnb of automobiles, where you rent out your vehicle. Okay, they provide a platform, they provide everything. You rent out your vehicle. They also provide, I mean, one of the first things that came to my mind is like, okay, well, Airbnb is one thing because it's a room or an apartment or a house, but it's stationary. Turo, they're actually driving around with your property, with your vehicle. You know, so what are your protections? You know, what can you do if somebody decides to, hey, not return the vehicle, or maybe they, you know, have a little bit too much fun with the vehicle, okay, and they don't return it in the same way that you gave it to them. They actually have insurance that covers the cost, that covers any potential damage, loss, theft, you know, that kind of thing. And I hear, now again, this is not based off of my own personal experiences, but this is based off of me talking to other people who have done Turo, who are still actively using Turo as a means of making money. I know a person who has, the last time I spoke to her, has 3 Turo vehicles. Okay, she started off with a side hustle of cooking. She was a single mom, and she ended up generating enough money where she was able to purchase 3 vehicles and then use them for Turo. Currently, she's netting about $800 to $900 every single month off of each of the vehicles. All right, so that's her side hustle. All right, the only thing she has to do is arrange drop off and pickup time, but everything else is, I believe, scheduled through the app. So that's another side hustle. Okay, so even if you don't have an extra vehicle, you know, but let's say you commute to work, you know, every day, or let's say you're able to walk to work or something like that. and your car is just sitting there, or maybe you decide you're gonna go on vacation for a week or for 2 weeks or something like that. You're gonna be, on a cruise ship or something along those lines. You don't need to necessarily use your vehicle or your main vehicle. Hey, why not give Turo a try? Okay, so that's one. The other thing is that I mentioned is culinary stuff. So cooking meals, cooking dinners, cooking baking cakes or baking whatever baked goods. All right, that is a huge thing. People are willing to pay a decent amount of money for from scratch kind of food, from scratch kind of cakes or pastries or anything like that. So that is another potential side hustle, and that's something that you can just do from your own kitchen. You just need, you can use Craigslist to advertise, Facebook, Twitter to advertise. You can advertise amongst your family, your friends, and say, hey, just can you just put the word out there that I'm starting to make, apple pies for the holidays or something along those lines, or I'm making, I'm good, once a month I'm gonna sell dinners or something along those lines. So there's that kind of thing that can happen. So let's see. So that's cooking. That's baking. Also, there's also cleaning. I mentioned about the cleaner that I use, who I pay $20 an hour to help me out with Airbnb. There are people who you can start a cleaning business, or even if you don't want to start a cleaning business, you could be your own cleaner. You can advertise. You can be your own cleaning business or your own privately run cleaning company. It could just be you. You don't need to necessarily get licensing. Now I am saying, let me just say, give a disclaimer, make sure any sort of earnings that you have with your side hustle, make sure you report that stuff to the IRS or whoever your accountant is, or however you deal with your taxes. You don't want to, yes, you want to make some additional money so that you can invest, but you want to do it in a legal way. Okay, you want to be on board with stuff. You don't want to start compromising and that kind of thing. Do everything with a spirit and attitude of excellence. I find that it does pay out in the long run. You may not necessarily see the quick profits from it, but absolutely you will see it over time. You will see the reliability of customers, all right, who may even be willing to pay extra for your services because they know that you're giving the best service available. You're giving the most consistent service available. Okay, so again, cleaning, that's another potential side hustle. All right, that can be done around your schedule, around, if you got a 9 to 5 and, let's say you get home by 4:30 or by 5 or by 6 or whatever, maybe you got weekends off, use whatever that time is to start doing your cleaning stuff. All right, so there's that. There's something called TaskRabbit. TaskRabbit is, I know they have an app. I don't know what their web presence is, but a lot of people will use them supposedly, and what that is it's basically like, from my understanding, and this is from talking with different people who get make money through this service. Basically what it is, it's kind of like a, if you have if there is some sort of household need, or if somebody needs you to go and pick up clothes from the dry cleaners for them, or somebody has a clogged toilet, and or some those kinds of things, different kind of tasks. And I believe that you go on there and you can put in certain things that you are able to do or you're good at doing, and people will hire you for those. You put in whatever your rate is that you want. So that's another side hustle that you can use. Now remember, the bigger picture is you want to take that extra income and you want to make sure that you put it in a financial vehicle. All right, so that financial vehicle, you want to rev that engine up with as much gasoline as you can. You want to put it in that financial vehicle. So let the financial vehicle start to take that money and, and work wonders with it. Okay. Just to give you an idea, I actually have two different REITs. Okay. And both of those REITs they pay 8% interest. All right. Compound interest, 8% per year. And they've been consistent with that. So you, now REITs, those sometimes it takes about maybe $1,000 to actually, to buy into it. Sometimes it's $5,000, $10,000, but either way, you want to build up to that point so that you're able to start getting those kinds of returns consistently. Okay. And it's okay to start off small. It's okay when I first started off with the snow removal business, the first time that I advertised right on Craigslist. I was getting calls right away. But the first time I ended up making, I made maybe anywhere from $200 to $300. It was net profit, $200 to $300 that first time, and then I was able to obviously build from there because of my consistency. But it's okay to start off at that because that's $200 or $300 more than I would have had I not done it. Now, you want to be able to do the same thing, so don't necessarily. So when I mentioned the REIT and it's gonna maybe take $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 to get into. Remember, this is a little bit of a process. It's going to take a little bit of time to get going, especially if you've started off at $0 per week, investing, and we're trying to take you from $5 a day to $500 per week. Okay, so it's okay. Now, with the side hustle, the different strategies that I recommend here on in this YouTube video, but then also in the book and on Facebook, on Twitter and things like that. That is going to accelerate things. Okay, so that way you don't have to worry about, maybe I can invest in a REIT in like 20 years or something. No. It's not going to take you that long. Continue listening, read the book, stay tuned to, Facebook and Twitter and things like that, because I'm going to give out a lot of hints. I'm going to try to encourage you and motivate you so that way, whatever your hustle is going to be, we can talk about it. We can brainstorm about it. We can, I'm going to actually put my email address because I realized I didn't do that. It is in the book, but I didn't do that for any of the videos. So I'm going to put my email address in there. So, if there are some things that you want to ask me about, maybe just get my take on things, feel free to shoot me an email. If you feel nervous about hitting me on Facebook, shoot me an email. Okay, I don't mind. We can talk. We can brainstorm. I love hearing different ideas, and I, like to share my 2 cents anytime I can. But you can do that. All right. So let's see. So we talked about TaskRabbit. We talked about the culinary arts thing, Airbnb, Turo. Another thing is just marketing. A lot of people, especially Gen Xers such as myself, other baby boomers who are, maybe they've retired or maybe they're about to retire, but they don't want to completely stop working. They want to put their energy towards maybe a business or something like that. But they don't know about, Facebook too much, or Twitter or Snapchat, or, whatever else is out there, Instagram. But maybe one of you guys do, and if you advertise, hey, we help marketing, so on social media sites, X, Y, and Z, let us know what your concepts are, and, we'll be sure to get the advertising that you need, that kind of thing. People are willing to pay top dollar for that, okay, for advertising, for marketing. There was this one this one business expert that I was talking to, and he said, anywhere from 30 to 45% of a startup's money should be going towards marketing. Now I don't know once a company is in full swing. I'm not sure exactly what the percentage is. Again, I'm not a financial expert. I'm not a CPA. I'm not a financial advisor. I am someone who's had some success as far as businesses go and that sort of thing, real estate investing. But I am not necessarily an expert at those kinds of things. So talk to someone though. But I do know that businesses need to. There's two things that businesses need in order to generate money. At least minimum two things. One is marketing. The second, because the marketing is going to bring in the customers, all right? It's going to make people know you may make the best, potato salad around, but if nobody knows about it, who cares, right? It's never gonna touch anybody's lips, except maybe your family members' lips at the barbecue or something like that, or at the family reunion, all right? So a business needs marketing, all right, to get the message out there. The second thing a business needs is customer service. But the first thing is marketing. Okay, so you can, one of these side hustles can definitely be marketing. Helping to market on social media, helping to market in different areas, right? Even posting on Craigslist or on other media sites. Okay, so that's another side hustle that you can do. All right, and you can make decent amount. These side hustles that I'm talking about, I mean, they could bring in at least a few $100s a day. Okay, any one of these, all right, or at least several $100s throughout the week. All right, if you look at my Airbnb, it brings in about $2,000 per month. Okay, so that's just one thing. Let's see. So we talked about all the. Okay, so another side hustle is handyman kind of services. There's a loose, handrail, on the porch, or a room needs to be painted, or a faucet needs to be need to be fixed, or a light bulb needs to be put. So there's those kinds of things that actually can come in handy also. I knew a handyman actually, and it's really shameful what happened because he ended up getting mixed up in some other stuff. He had some other personal issues going on that really messed up his handyman business. But he did construction work, but he had a side hustle as a handyman, and he was so reliable at the time and so consistent that people were willing to pay top dollar to utilize his services, and there were people who offered for cheaper prices, sometimes even half of what he was charging, but people are willing to pay for the quality, again, and that's where I also want to emphasize, do everything with a spirit of excellence. Okay, all right, so handyman, all right, there's tons of other things. If you're passionate about something, this is one of the things that I really wanted to talk about too. If you're passionate about anything, like let's say it may be dancing, it may be doing a craft, it may be exercising, it may be, I don't know, teaching people how to fly kites, any one of the, it may be computers. So you can actually, people are willing to pay you money to teach them about the thing that you are passionate about. All right, maybe you like putting up YouTube videos, there are a lot of people, I'm one of them, I don't really know how to do the whole, put up YouTube videos. I cross my fingers and clasp my palms together, every time I'm getting ready to post something because I don't know if it's going to come out right. So there are people who are willing to pay you money to teach them about what you're already passionate about and already knowledgeable about. Okay, so that is another side hustle. Okay, so there's all these kinds of things. I mean, there's a bunch of things. I mean, we could, we can go on and on. There's babysitting. There's, um, I don't know. There's Uber. There's Lyft. There's those kinds of other rideshare kinds of services. So there's a lot of different things. You can start your own car service company if you wanted to. That's your side hustle, and put your availability for the car service around your other 9 to 5. So there's a lot of different things. I know people who've started braiding hair and doing that kind of thing, out of their own homes. Okay, so of course you got to watch the laws with that, because certain things require licensing and that kind of thing. But that's definitely something to look into. So there's a lot of different opportunities, okay, for this. As of August, 44 million Americans were actually doing some additional side hustle, okay, to supplement their income. Now, what I want to emphasize is, make sure that you are not spending additional money. Okay, now when I say spending additional money, I'm talking about, like, let's say your side hustle is bringing in $1,000 per week. Okay, you say, oh, I'm making a lot of money now. Now I can go out and buy, I don't know, $1,100 a week more stuff. No, you don't want to do that. You want to keep your expenses the same. Obviously, any sort of side hustle or business or entrepreneurial endeavor there's gonna be probably some form of cost. Like I said, when I, first started out with the snow removal business, I mean, the cost was a $10 shovel and a $5 bag of salt. So there's gonna be some, and of course, as I got more clients and things like that, I would have to replace a shovel every now and again, or I'd have to buy, several bags of salt. So there are gonna be, but I'm talking about, besides those expenses, okay, those business necessary expenses, you don't want to go purchasing, you don't want to get stuck in consumerism and start spending more, on your wants and habits and things like that, because you're making more money, okay? So that's another thing. So I just want you to keep those things in mind. I know this is a little bit longer than my normal videos, but I felt the need to really talk about this because it's really important, and I see people suffering. And people have been IMing me and asking about additional ways to make money, and so this is my suggestion to everybody. So I hope this was beneficial. I will put my email address down below. Okay. Thanks for tuning in, and until the next episode, I will talk to you all later on. Thank you, and talk to you soon. Bye.